And let's get right into the match. They can join. I don't know if they know that. Oh, I'll say go good luck or something. There we go. They're so polite waiting for me to make sure that we're ready to go. But of course we're always ready. As soon as I've made the lobby, if I've not otherwise stated, that means that we're ready. Kv1, Yan, best of 7. I'm going to say Kv1's the favourite for this one, even though Yan is a monster in 1v1. I think Kv1, being the more experienced of the two players in the Showmatch format, will give him an advantage. Yan, of course, proven in tournaments, namely Gamers 8, best of 1 format. But this is a best of 7. This is Kv1's speciality, I should say. This is Kv1's special. What am I talking about? You have to go easy on me. It is 10 to 3 in the morning right now, but we had to get Kv1 Yan. It was available, so we're ready anytime, any day. As soon as I heard that this was going to be available, we hit the go live button. Cantoyo, thanks for the 31-month tier 1. Really appreciate that. Also, Solace Vibs, thanks for the tier 1. Not sure which it is. Danky G, thanks for the 24-month Prime. That's going to creep in for Kv1 to tie the game. Yan will need to be a bit careful with his boost management. He's let his boost run low a couple times here, and that was definitely mispositioning. Kv1's kickoff, the stuff of legends. He might have the best kickoff in the world. Definitely one of the best in the world. Yan is no slouch, but Kv1 is an absolute monster. He puts himself 2-1 ahead off the back of a strong challenge. That wasn't too bad of a position for Yan. It might look pretty treacherous, but, you know, really, it could be worse. At least he had pressure on the ball, whereas a lot of players against Kv1's kickoff end up with no ball pressure, no boost, and having to save an immediate shot. This time Yan doesn't have ball pressure, but he does have boost, so he's had to concede something off both of those kickoffs, including possession. He hangs in the air just long enough to clip Kv1 for a demo and equalize as he air dribbles into Kv1's half. Sammy Green, thanks to the tier 1, welcome to the channel. Soul 16, thanks to the 18-month Prime, welcome back. The biggest point that I had in the most recent 1v1 match, that I just ended up having a bunch of talk about kickoffs because it was quite a one-sided matchup from the center circle. The biggest point, the biggest takeaway from that one was that our player on the losing end wasn't changing the direction that they're flipping enough. So keep an eye on Kv1 and how he dominates kickoffs, or how he tends to dominate kickoffs. I expect him to win the majority of kickoffs here, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe Yan has got him figured out. Maybe Yan knows what to do to counter Kv1's incredibly strong kickoff. So far, so good for the man with the plan. He's 3-2 up. That's a very nice outcome for himself. Fakes his ceiling shot, jumps to think about the air dribble bump. Instead, decided to try and double that one in with a mind game, but Kv1 with no fear just guides the ball to safety and then into the back of the net. Good timing on the in and out save from Kv1. So Kv1 spawns left side. Well, both players spawn left side from their POV. Kv1 hooks the kickoff to the inside, and you'll know that it's a hook kickoff to the inside because he spawned to the left and he flipped to the left. So very nicely done. Kv1 unable to land on Yan with the little pop bump play. He loses his back corner boost as well. Yan creating a bit of space there by hitting the ball right at the end of his flip, but he misses the free shot. That should have been 4-3 for Yan, I should say. I think he might have own goaled. He has indeed. He didn't get the right angle on that one. Hit it a bit too fast away from himself and doesn't catch up to it. A little bit of an awkward play there for Yan. Kv1 will be pretty happy that he's not the one on the receiving end of a 4-3 deficit. He probably should have been. Yan blundered the free shot completely into the bar. Kv1 edging closer to Yan's net. Pre-jump save on the flick will keep him back for now. Well played by Yan. That's so clutch that he managed to get back to the ball with just 10 boost and force another 50-50. He played for the demo there, didn't want anything to do with the ball. We'll see a lot of that in high-ranked games these days, but even in 1v1, mostly in 2v2, you'll see players go for that. 3v3, it's pretty common as well. The just simple drive challenge where you drive into the ball and you assume that you're going to lose the 50-50, but you just go straight through it and look for the demo on the tail end anyway. Becoming quite a common strategy in 1v1 back corner challenges, as most 50-50s in the back corner tend to favour the defender. Most of the bounces that happen play the defender's way. Yan in the air, looks for the bump, gets it. And he threatens so many different options here. Yan has got a flip reset automatically whenever he wants one. He's pretty automatic with the double taps as well. And he leans into the bump last second, disguises his intentions. And Kv1 loses his lead. It's good movement by Kv1, but Yan calls his bluff on the near post approach. He knew there was really no proper angle for Kv1 to be shooting with there. Kv1 loses the dribble a little bit, tries to get it back on top of his car. I think he's gone a bit too all in there. Should have accepted the fact that he's miscontrolled that and played for a safer option. He just lost control of the ball on the front end of his car, rolled off the front, and he had to really dig underneath it again to get it back in a threatening position. But by then, I think he was a bit too all in. Yan agrees, puts himself up by 1, fake kickoff, nets him yet another possession as he tries to skip into position for another shot. Supermon, thanks to the 9-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate all the support, even on a really late stream. Thought that none of you are going to tune in, to be honest, because this is a very late one even for me. But it's Kv1 and Yan, so all fans of 1v1 will know that this is a must-watch. I think Yan's missed that. He's indeed missed a completely open net. And he was definitely a little bit worried about the potential demo that was coming in behind, but not so much that he should be missing from that angle. He makes up for it with a pretty quick punish on a loose touch from Kv1. That was careless from Kv1. It's not as clinical, not as controlled as he usually is. He's never one to make many unforced errors. He usually just plays a very simple strategy, very solid strategy, and beats his opponents into submission. He's caught up with Yan there, even though Yan held boost at the end of that pre-flip to attempt to get away. Late ignition on the boost for Kv1. Quick turnaround. 5th goal for him. Still trailing by 1. That was well disguised though. Kv1 made it look like he was going to try and fly ahead of the ball for the bump there, or just fly behind it for the 50-50. Well, Yan was still trying to figure out what was happening. He ended up conceding, but hey, look at this. Well, a lot of players say Kv1 can't lose a kickoff. Yan's beating him there. So take a look at what Yan's doing. This is definitely surprising. After seeing what Kv1 is able to do to Appjack in one game on the world stage, I really expected him to come out hot in game 1 with the kickoffs. He gets his immediate revenge. Both players playing for big wins from the center circle, but you can clearly see that they're not going for the same strats every single time. Otherwise, you'd have the same player winning every single time. Now Kv1's pushing the ball across the face of Yan, and he gets another one. Yan's completely failed to guess which way Kv1's going there. Now, when both players go for the same idea, the player who commits harder wins it. In fact, I think Yan might have been trying to deflect the ball into his back corner off the ceiling there. He didn't jump. And it might look like he's messed up, but I've seen that as a viable strategy these days. I reckon he tried that on purpose. Look at this. Yan has demoed Kv1 anyway, and he's going to try and score on 0 seconds. He scores on 1 second by mistake, but that'll probably do quite nicely. Kv1 cannot believe it, and Yan spams a bunch of Ks in the chat. If you don't know what that means, I believe it's the Brazilian equivalent of laughing. So, winnable, but not easily. Kv1 tries to deflect the ball straight into the sidewall. Can't do so. Yan takes game 1. What a ridiculous end to a very tense game. High scoring, which is to be expected when you've got offensive players like this on the field. Yan, one of the most difficult players to defend when he gets up into the air, and Kv1, one of the most difficult players to defend when he comes at you on the ground. So they're going to be tough to stop, that's for sure. Neither one of them have really made a name for themselves because of their defense. Not to say that their defense is lacking, but they're definitely known predominantly for their offense. Expect high-scoring games. From goals like that at the end of the game, not so much. That was a bit ridiculous. But just to reiterate, I don't think Yan messed up his... well, he did mess up, but I don't think it was a complete accident to just drive into the ball when he was 7-6 ahead. I believe that that was intended. I'll be very curious to see if he does that again. The idea with that particular kickoff strategy is to deflect the ball up into the ceiling, because you just simply turn your car into a ramp and you get dunked on. But you don't want to deflect it into the sidewall. You don't want to deflect it into the ceiling straight above you. It's got to go back corner into the ceiling. That gives you a chance to just run, catch up with the ball, grab the boost, and then defend the position, and usually waste a lot of time while doing so. So it makes sense to do that at the end of the game when you're up by 1. But only if you execute it to perfection. He's clearly a bit too face-on for that one. Oh, here comes a reset double from Yan. He manages to squeeze it under Kv1's pre-jump. And Kv1 realized what was happening here, still couldn't get in the way of it. Respawn, Yan's got the reset. He tries to flip in the way. You're just at Yan's mercy here. He's got so many options every time he attacks. And already Kv1's looking a bit uncomfortable. Yan trying to get back to the ball. He's going to with a couple of flips. This time it's Kv1 leaving the inside open. Look at that. He's very side onto the ball there, trying to push it around the outside. But Yan he's flipping the exact same direction. So if you're goal side and both players flip the same way, you're going to win the kickoff. Now Yan switches to mirror the strategy that just won him a goal. It's like I said last time, if you spawn on the right hand side of the field and win the kickoff, just try and mirror what you did. If you spawn left, it might just work again. It didn't work as well, but didn't go terribly wrong for Yan either. Still, got mind gamed from Kv1's opening goal. That should be a goal if Kv1's got the accuracy. He does. What an explosive kickoff matchup this is turning out to be. Neither one of them is stopping with the big flips into the ball. You know, at some point, usually these days, one player will decide to start wave dashing on the recovery. One player will start to try and delay their approach every now and then. But other than one, I think 2 cheeky kickoff strats from Yan, we haven't seen any. Oh my goodness, what a save from Kv1. He hung high enough with no boost to flip into the ball with an in-and-out save. That is unbelievable. I said that neither one of these players was particularly well renowned for their defense, but I want to reiterate the other thing I said. It's not because they're bad at defense, it's just because usually they don't have to do a whole lot of it. They're so aggressive and they're so effective at asserting their authority on their opponents that we don't get to enjoy defense like that from Kv1 very often. Yan blasts a top corner shot. Not many defenders in the world are going to stop that one. Simple yet effective. Air rolls with that a little bit of extra power. Slams the ball top corner. You know, I might have been wrong about the favourite here. Kv1 looks uncomfortable in the lobby, and Yan has really been able to neutralise Kv1's monstrous kickoff very effectively. Again, Yan pushes Kv1 back, and this is a testing moment for Kv1. He knows if he gives Yan opportunities like this, it's likely to end up in the back of his net eventually. He's got one boost to his name. Yan calls him on it and stuffs in his 4th goal. He knew that he had Kv1 in an extremely precarious position here after forcing so many saves. The boost had to be low. There was no time for Kv1 to circle the box for small pads. And Yan again fakes the kickoff, grabs possession of the back corner. This is a brilliant mix-up from Yan. One little wall dash and swiftly maneuvers out of the position to dodge any demo. He's a bit unfortunate he didn't get one there. Yan probably expected a demo on Kv1 as he flipped into him there. Got contact. He can't have been far off supersonic as he accelerated. Kv1 manages his boost exceptionally well and resets at the last minute to send the ball into the top corner. Gorgeous from Kv1. Brilliant aerial control. He's being pushed to the limit here. He's been forced to use his entire offensive arsenal against Yan. He's been forced to play every position, not just the front end on the ground. This is more like the Kv1 that we're used to seeing. Quick kickoff possession play and constant pressure. Bottom corner gladly accepts his ground shot. That was just perfection from Kv1. Managing the boost, managing the position, tightly maneuvering around the ball, not giving Yan any 50-50s. Played his advantage really well. Yan jumps over Kv1 and just gets the shot past him. He got enough on the kickoff to stop Kv1 from getting back to that shot. It was just a quick jump there from Yan. He was going to get bumped if he didn't jump immediately. Not sure if Kv1 read that bounce. It's gone right back to Yan in the middle of the pitch, but he's missed an open net again. Now he had to shoot that one accurately, certainly. But it was still an open net. Yan just charges straight into Kv1's corner. And look at him once again, just dissecting the defense. He actually flew in front of the ball to bump Kv1 there, who stood strong in the way of it. 1 goal difference still. Kv1 attempts another late comeback. Yan's been extremely tricky to connect with when it comes to air dribble bumps, but Kv1 has got other avenues of attack as well. And this is another that has worked well for him. He boost starves Yan. Yan's got just a little to his name here. He's saving up what he can. Darts to the mid boost, stays alive. That's still a bit of a gain in the position. Oh, it's a big gain in the position. Yan's dunked Kv1 from the back corner. How has he managed that? Yan is just having a laugh here. He's having a great laugh. He's completely stuffed Kv1 and sent the ball into the blue net once again. Kv1 thought, surely Yan's going to vacate the area. Surely he's going to leave. And I can just attempt once more to tie the game. That's not the plan for Yan, who now fakes Kv1 with a reset and puts in his 7th goal. He is dominating. One of the most dominant 1v1 players of our time. And this is Kv1 on 12 boost. It might actually be, I think it is, the first time I've had the pleasure of casting Kv1 on less than 120 boost. He always plays USC servers against an American or a European player. I don't think he's going to have time to get that one in. Yan's already back on the scene. Kv1 tries to catch him off guard, but Yan is more than ready. What a performance from Yan. Yet another mind game from a flip reset threat. Kv1 knows that Yan is capable of launching that ball into the net, so he tries to pre-jump in the way of him. And at some point here, he's just got to play the ball, at least force Yan to outplay him. Has Kv1 relied a bit too much on the outside edge kickoff today? I think perhaps he might need to switch to going big on the inside, trying to get goal side and flipping towards the direction that he spawned in, because Yan has really shut him down in that avenue. I don't think I've ever casted a Kv1 match and had any comment about how he might need to improve his kickoff before. This is a first, but like I mentioned, it's kind of unknown territory watching a Yan show match. This is new for me as well as it is for him. I don't know what to expect in a series format. I expected good things, that definitely, but did not expect him to just from the get-go have a good counter to Kv1's kickoff and completely even him out. Not shut him down, not win, but definitely go even with him. That is, to me, incredibly impressive. As I say that, you can see to kickoff goal. He's got to be careful here. Kv1's been known to score kickoff goals back to back, and although the clock would indicate that this is a game over, you never know. You just never know with Kv1. It might sound crazy to say it, but I've seen him, bash in 2-3 kickoff goals in a row before. But it really does have to be 2 or 3 in a row. It's a strange one to see Kv1 try the drive kickoff there. Nice save with the pre-jump in the closing seconds. I'm pretty sure Kv1 figured that with 9 seconds left, it won't be possible even for a player like him. Not going to bother trying to go for 3 kickoff wins in a row. Save it for the next game. And he'll be glad that Yan suggested a best of 7 earlier on, because this is not going well for him. He needs all the time he can figure out, all the time he can get to figure out what on earth to do to deal with Yan. I remember a lot of people were asking, well, maybe not a lot, but maybe the casual audience were asking, what is this America's lineup at the World Championship 1v1 showcase? Lacking AJ, lacking First Killer, but these two on your screen right now are 2 of the absolute best in the world, and I definitely put them both top 3 in the Americas combined at the moment. They're trading kickoff goals right now because they refuse to play for a passive strategy. Now notice, Yan spawned on the right, he flips to the right, and he wins. Kv1 now, he's spawning to the right. His weak side generally today has been when he flips to the left here. That's what he's done, and he's lost. Now, like I said before, I never thought I'd have to comment on a Kv1 kickoff strat and what you might need to do differently, but I really think he needs to switch simply the direction he's dodging here. If he's not going to integrate any different kickoff strats into his game, and I've got the expectation of that not happening. I think he's just going to keep going for his regular kickoff strategy. And I think he's got to switch the direction he's flipping at a bare minimum and go more on the inside. Yan has been so strong every time Kv1 tries to push the ball through him. Perfect first touch for Yan. It's not much, doesn't look like much, but that is just such a threatening touch, and it's enough that he can just wait for the ball to be close to the goal and then bump Kv1 at the last second. Wow, he just gives himself so many options with his first touch. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal to watch. Kv1 wins possession. Yan circling him, keeping up pressure on the position, even turning and challenging. This is incredibly aggressive for Yan, who has shown such confidence in his challenge game, such confidence in his 50-50 game, but also incredible confidence in how elusive he can be and how careful he can be to stay alive when Kv1 peels away from these positions to chase after him. 2-2, Kv1 ties as Yan overextends. He went for a big flick there, and you know, knowing Yan's capabilities, I don't blame him really, but he did fail to connect this time. Yan fakes the back corner boost grab, tries to catch Kv1 off guard immediately. This time Kv1's ready for him, but notice Yan's aggression in the back corner here. He wants to force the ball across the box so he can steal the boost. That's exactly what he's done, rather than have to defend with low boost as Kv1 advances down the line. He switches which side of the box we're playing on, and now he has boost to defend with. He's got to be careful. Kv1 didn't go for the demo in the back corner. In fact, he's missed his touch there. Yan sets up yet another air dribble bump. Kv1 this time is able to get the save. Look at this for a save as well. Flies into the ball afterwards and scores before Yan can retreat back to his goal. That was phenomenal from Kv1. He's been caught out of position a few times when Yan comes in to try and bump him. That time he figured out a way to make the save. Speed from Yan, too much so. Kv1 looking to sneak up behind him and play for the bump, I think. At least that's what it looked like Kv1 is thinking of doing here. Yan wasted no time in shooting the ball off the wall into the net. That's much better from Kv1. Oh, that's not the right follow-up though, but if you were paying attention, you'll notice that he did exactly what we've been asking him to do, and that's play more on the inside of the ball with his kickoff strat. So immediate success, netting him a possession. Should have probably been a goal there with a proper shot. Still a winning position for him either way, as possession has been his, control has been his ever since that kickoff came through. Now he's in a bit of trouble though. Yan threatening to score from close range. I think Kv1 expected Yan to pick up his back corner boost there, so he decided to just chase after him. Low air dribble bump from Yan. It still connects. He doesn't need much on it, does he? He is an absolute fiend with the air dribble bumps. That's just a two-touch air dribble there. It's not hardly even an air dribble. He just popped the ball, but it's still enough to guide it into the back of the net. I think Kv1 might have to start going over the top of him or around the side, because trying to sneak underneath Yan to get a save on these air dribble bumps, simply not working. Nice counter there though by Kv1. Yan charging in, looking to demo Kv1 on the wall. Not too interested in playing the ball there. Like we mentioned earlier, it's a back corner play. Yan's quite happy to fake challenges and play for the boost grabs, play for the demos off the ball instead of flipping into the ball and challenging. That time Kv1 spotted it and played around him. And you know what? It's worked twice in a row. Kv1 is starting to read these plays in the back corner, Yan. You might need to switch it up. That's twice in a row. Yan has just tried to drive past the play, demo Kv1, and Kv1 stayed safe, got the ball past his opponent, and scored before Yan can get back. So he's got a couple of options there. Either Yan decides to stop playing for the bump and just fakes the challenge entirely. Alternatively, he can take a bit of a quicker line back to his goal, so he's not arcing all the way around the back wall like this, like he's doing here, and actually retreats back to his goal in a more speedy manner. Still plenty time left for Yan to make something happen. He might go the full pitch air dribble here. He's got a lot of work to do. I don't think he got a reset either. He's going to dunk it in nonetheless. Yan is unstoppable. It's the threat of the potential flip reset that's got Kv1 so scared there. I don't think Yan even got one, but from Kv1's perspective, it looks like Yan might have a reset. So he's sitting way back in his net there, waiting for the flip to come. Like I said earlier, I think with the pace that Yan advances and the overall success rate of the majority of his touches, probably makes sense to just play the ball and hope for the best. Kv1 succeeds in mind gaming Yan. He'll be pretty happy with that because Yan hit him with a couple of these in game number 1. Or was it game number 2? I forget. But either way, Kv1 gets one in game number 3. Oh dear, oh dear. He will not be happy to see the ball flying into his net again though. And I know that all of you guys who are commenting, well, it's not a kickoff, not a 1v1 game unless Johnny's talking about kickoffs, but I've got to point it out. He's done the same kickoff again there. He spawned on one side, flipped the other way, and lost the kickoff goal. He's done it again. Well, this is just relentless from Kv1. He's done it again. This time it works because Yan anticipated a switch that never came. So, well, I guess that's something for Kv1 to write home about. This, however, is the opposite. Yan's taking a late game lead. Kv1 completely all in on pretty much nothing. Is he going to switch this kickoff strat? Yes, he is. This time he goes infield, but Yan is one step ahead once again. Or is he? He actually misplayed. He had the strategy right, but he executed incorrectly. Went for the complete fake in the kickoff. And still lost his back corner boost. Speed from Kv1 has got him a late game possession here. Final 30 seconds. He desperately needs a goal. Looks like he's not going to get one. Yan, with immaculate control, saves the shot and keeps himself right on top of Kv1 and the ball. This is tricky for Kv1 to work with. Launches long. Yan saves again, and once more Yan lands outside the net. This is a disaster for Kv1. He wants to force Yan into the goal here to give himself a bit of space to set up a follow-up shot. Yan is giving him absolutely no space. Finally, Kv1 gets some, but with a first touch like that, it's just not going to happen. 3-0. Yan is dominating. We expected Kv1 to crush the kickoffs. If anything, Yan has got the edge in that matchup. I think Kv1's been a bit stubborn. I think he's been sticking to the losing strategy a bit too much. Maybe this is new for maybe this is just new for Kv1. He's not used to losing kickoffs. Now he's finally losing them. He doesn't know what to do. I think Yan called GG's early there. It is best of 7, as Kv1 probably informed him. Yan thought it was best of 5. Yan is the one who asked for a best of 7. So no, it's not over. Before the match started, Yan asked for a best of 7. I've gone offline and the messages are gone since then, but I said best of 5 question mark. Yan said best of 5, best of 7 Kv1 question mark. So everything since then has been Portuguese. So I don't know what else they've said. But as far as my best guess of interpreting what they were talking about was a best of 7 was agreed to. Apart from that, Yan's just been laughing a whole bunch. He's having a great time. You cannot doubt this man's ice. He is completely stone cold. Whatever situation you put him in, I've never seen anything like it. He might be the iciest player on the planet. It's either I think it might be. It's either Rise or Yan. I'm not sure. Who do you guys think? Who has the most ice? Different kind of ice as well. Let me explain myself. The ice for Rise, it improves the later into a game you go, and it also improves the higher the stakes are. Because I've seen Rise being a bunch of like really easy plays early on in series, early on in tournaments. I've seen him like just, you know, completely bot turn and miss the ball. I'm like, okay, that's not the icy Rise I'm used to seeing. But then as soon as you put him in a 0-second situation, he's the iciest player on the planet. So Rise is like the iciest on 0 seconds, and he's maybe the iciest in like grand finals and stuff like that. But overall, ice, I think Yan might have the edge because he's more consistently icy. But that's just my opinion. I still think Rise is the iciest player in the closing stages. Mr. Talisman, thanks for 1,000 bits. I appreciate that, man. Meza XNX, thanks for the tier 1. Yan is just reading every move Kv1 makes right now. Kv1 has tried everything. He's even tried the car switch today, but he just cannot get a read on Yan, who has completely caught him lacking several times in several areas. He's caught him lacking in the kickoff game. He's caught him lacking with, you know, many surprising challenges that Kv1 could not anticipate, and I think more than anything, he's caught Kv1 lacking with the aggression. I expected Yan to be the player who is playing on the back foot more than Kv1, but actually Kv1's been on the back foot for the majority of these games, the majority of this series. Well, Jan's kind of messed up that first touch. He got a good second one, so it didn't matter, but he really didn't need to make a difficult play of this. It could have just been a simple shot. Miggy RL, thanks to the 9-month Prime. King Spectre, thanks for 68-month Tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Well, hold on a second. Well, I was looking at my Streamlabs. Can you guys type 1 in chat if Kv1 just faked a kickoff? Is that the first time Kv1 has had to do something different on kickoff entirely? And it still doesn't work out. Yan with a double reset. He is simply a different level. He's on a different planet. Kv1 must be at a loss for what to do right now. Glad to see him flipping to the inside on a kickoff there. At least, you know, if nothing else, I think he has figured out that going to the outside as much as he was in this matchup is just not going to work. Yan is too strong on that side, so Kv1 is... He is making some necessary adaptations late in the game here, late in the series. But it might just be too late because Yan is in the zone. He is popping off. And how do you stop him when he's playing like this? Kv1, on the other hand, looking just a little bit messy with the landings, but he gets one into the near post. That's a confident rebound. And it's a rebound I don't think Yan thought Kv1 would bother going for, because Yan's in the area. He's probably thinking, Kv1's going to respect me here. He's not going to go up for this. That's exactly what Kv1's done. Pushes to the outside on the kickoff once again. This time, it works for Kv1, but the shot flatters the post. Kv1's gone for the boost afterwards. Leaves his net wide open. That's careless. You know, when Kv1 does mix in that inside kickoff, it makes his outside kickoff all the more dangerous because Jan's got to think about it. He's got to think about the option of Kv1 going either way. It would have made a lot of sense for Kv1 to do that, at least in Game 2, but I think even in Game 1 it would have been a good thing to start mixing into his game, because that would have kept Yan guessing from an earlier stage. As things are, Yan has only had to start figuring out Kv1's kickoff very late on in the matchup here. And it might just be too little too late. So we've got an even kickoff game. We've got Yan in the air. Nothing more needs to be said. No one's matching him. And then you've got a pretty even ground game. So I think the Yan aerial game is the difference at the moment. It's the air dribble bumps predominantly, but if it's not bumps, it's flip resets. If it's not flip resets, it's standard air dribbles. He really can do it all when it comes to the air. And, you know, I thought Kv1 was going to be the favourite in this matchup, expecting him to win kickoffs, win ground game, and yeah, lose aerial game, sure, but when you've got the ground game and the kickoffs, usually the aerial game edge is not that much of a difference, but Yan has just proven that he is on that top level when it comes to ground game and when it comes to kickoffs. Right up there with a player that many consider to be the absolute best when it comes to ground game and kickoff game combined. Yan is making him look second best in this lobby. Still a long time to go in Game 4. Kv1 has to dig deep. No doubt Yan is inside his head right now. So many successful mind games, so many successful air dribble bumps. And so many times we've seen Yan spamming the chat with laughter as he flip resets Kv1 once again. And a little bit of a hesitation before a half flip in celebration there for Kv1. Just look at Yan go. He just has a way of moving the ball around the pitch that is so identifiable. If we hit the nameplates, I'm sure most of you would guess who were watching. What has Kv1 got left? He batters the backboard from distance. Well, he's managed to get a bad touch out of Yan there, but the takeoff is lacking for Kv1. He didn't even bother trying to shoot that because he knew that he jumped in the wrong angle. Still, boost control is his. He half flips away from the incoming Yan. Yan's got enough with the small pads to stay active here. And that's exactly how he chooses to defend Kv1's slow dribbling play. Kv1 still taking his time here. He's not going all in just yet. And look at this. He manages to spot an early challenge. Got to give a lot of respect to how Kv1's played that. Many players would just panic in a 3-goal down position and just go completely all in, hoping for the best. But Kv1 has slow played Yan there, and he's caught him out of position with a challenge. Yan has just slapped in another kickoff goal. This is bizarre. We are seeing Kv1 be dismantled. The further into the series we go, his kickoff game has fallen apart entirely. unbelievable from Yan. Just truly unbelievable. No one has done this before. No one, even on the USC server, has done this to Kv1 before. He's made players rage quit when he's playing with 120 ping, scoring kickoff goals on them again and again and again. Now Yan has managed to make him look silly on the kickoffs when both players have got the home connection. Immaculate boost management from Yan once again. Kv1 forced to jump, but to no avail. He's got Yan at an awkward position here. Can he score? That is the question. Yan's defense has been too strong. Kv1 tries a late flick with a lot of angle, not enough power. And Yan is back and he's in the way of him. He's not going to give him the 50-50 goal. Nothing is working for Kv1. The flick denied. The 50-50 shut down. And everything else he's tried has only worked for little bursts before Yan reasserts his authority. He thought he'd won after 5. He's about to win in 7. Yan finishes off a offensive masterclass and a kickoff tutorial pretty much. That's, if you want to know how to play well in standard kickoffs, this is the guy to watch, I guess. I said Kv1 is the guy to watch, but he's just beaten the guy. Yan annihilates his biggest local rival 4-0. He beat him in every single aspect of the game. Defensively, he looks the more comfortable of the two players. In the air, he was everything we expected of him. And when it came to ground game and kickoffs, I think we just learned that Yan is even better than we thought. That is something that I will not quickly forget. Kv1 will get a consolation prize of a pretty nice goal and also a very nice celebration there, the nose slide landing. But he was completely outplayed today. He had nothing against the brilliance of Yan. Back to the drawing board for Kv1. I think he's learned a lot of lessons today. Mostly on the kickoffs. I've never seen anyone do this to Kv1. But definitely in other aspects as well. GG's. Appreciate both these guys coming on late, even for them, and putting on a show for us. That is one of the most interesting and entertaining photo sweeps that I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying that to keep you guys interested. I'm genuinely sitting here baffled at what I've just seen. The levels that Yan just showed us. With the mind games, with the mechanics, and with the game plan. Were just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. He is an absolute joy to watch. What a player.